Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Rob Havenstein is a stud offensive tackle for the Los Angeles Rams, who will face the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend at the Super Bowl. He also happens to be from my high school, Linganore High School in Frederick County, Maryland. So I surprised Big Rob by inviting our high school football coach, Rick Connor, on for a three-way Zoom call. Hey, this is WTOP's Jason Fraley, and this is a really big treat because we are here with Big Rob Havenstein, who is going to be playing this Sunday with the LA Rams in the Super Bowl against the Bengals. Hey, Rob, thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and by the way, I have a little special guest here for you. Hopefully it comes through. Let's see. We have someone else. We have a third person joining the call. Can you guess who it is?
I got no idea.
Well, hopefully it'll connect here in a second. But man, it's insane. So where are you joining us now? You're here on Friday. You're the final Friday practice, right? Right before the big game.
Yep, final Friday practice.
Here we go. It is Coach Connor, your high school coach from Linganore.
Hey, Coach, how we doing?
We're doing great. It was school was a buzz today, man. It was hopping. It was a lot of juice. A lot of jerseys, a lot of cool stuff. So
awesome to hear.
Yeah, they're all thinking about you, and we are. They're rooting for you, and I'm just happy for you, man.
Thanks, Coach.
I
really appreciate it.
Well, we got to introduce this third window here to our audience here. This is Coach Rick Connor, who is the current head coach at Linganore High School football. He was Rob's head coach back when Rob was in high school, and mine as well. Full disclosure, my senior year was your first year as the head coach there. So, man, what you've built at Linganore is insane, Coach.
Oh, it's been a blast. I get goosebumps seeing you two guys, and you guys. You don't know how much you both have in common. So it's great students, guys with a passion, guys who always had a plan. And, you know, I'm a lucky coach. I got lucky, and Linganore's been a great place to coach, and you guys both know that.
Well, Rob probably agree. We're the lucky ones when we had you coach.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to get into all that in a minute. But first of all, the big game, Super Bowl Sunday against the Bengals, Rob. Your job, of course, as an offensive tackle, your job is to protect Mr. Matthew Stafford. You guys ready? You ready for this Bengals pass rush?
Yeah, we think so. We got a couple good weeks of preparation in. We've done our due diligence in the film room, talking about scheme wise, plan wise, how we are going to handle certain personnels and things like that. So we're going to put the finishing touches on it tomorrow. Make sure our bodies are ready to go and our minds are calm and ready to get juiced up when the time is, because this hardest thing with this whole Super Bowl thing that kind of doesn't get talked about is the 2 weeks you have off. The 2 weeks you have to prepare for one game. Keeping your level here and not spiking, going down too much where you wear yourself out.
Right. Coach Connor, as you always said, like, we're not going to get too high or too low. We're just going to kind of stay medium. And yeah, there you go. So I know, Rob, on the other side of the ball too, like, your pass rush is insane. One of the best we've seen in years, Aaron Donald, and the addition of Von Miller too. We all saw what he did in the Super Bowl when he was in Denver against Cam Newton. I think he might have even been the MVP that year, but, are they ready to get after Joe Burrow? Is that a big emphasis for you guys? Like, I'm not trying to spoil your game plan, but everybody knows you're going to be going after Burrow.
Yeah, no, obviously being an offensive player, I'm not too delve deep into the defensive side of the ball. I'm worried about my job, but I know those guys are going to be ready to go. They've had a great look in their eye all couple weeks of practice. And, I'm excited to, finally get out there and, watch them go to work, and for us as an offense to get after it too. Awesome.
Well, you sort of alluded to it, Coach Connor, at the top, but just take us more into what it was like at Linganore today. We all remember back in high school, and Fridays, the big game days, people wearing the jerseys, but this is next level. This is like Super Bowl week at Linganore. So was it like a big, do you do pep rallies? People wear jerseys, or what is it like today?
It's funny because I'm getting goosebumps right now, just thinking about how today went, really the last 2 days. Today was Spirit Day, and it was in really recognition of Rob and him. The Rams played in the Super Bowl, so we were told to wear a jersey or wear red and black Linganore colors, and there were banners painted up and posted all inside the school, and And the bad news is I did see a few Bengal jerseys. Okay.
Oh,
But
no.
for the most part, I know, what were they thinking, right?
That one's perfect.
Might as well wearing her Urbana jersey.
You remember it well. Yes. But it was great. And it's great that we're recognizing Rob's accomplishments, because he's just really bigger than life here out at home. And we know he's a champion now. Everybody, the whole world's going to need to know he's a champion. So we're excited for the Rams, for Rob, and he's a team guy. He's not in. He would probably be rather going home and getting ready, watching some film or something. But it's just Rob, you've done it. We can't wait to cheer you on Sunday.
Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I think we're all of us Lancers are going to be Rams fans this weekend for sure. Connor, both of you guys actually, but remind us let's start with Coach. Remind us the first time that you met Big Rob. Like, was it coming up through like youth football camps or anything,
My oldest is the same age as Robbie, and I think it was daycare at St. James in Mount Airy. Then I was his middle school basketball coach, and he was. I knew he was special then. Then he got to Linganore as a football player. He never played until 9th grade, and you just saw flashes that this guy is going to be special. As a 10th grader, we moved him up. I think he played in 39 varsity football games, which is an incredible amount. 2 state championship games. His senior year, we were undefeated, ranked nationally. He played both ways. This guy didn't leave the field. He played the state championship game on one foot. From an injury in a previous playoff game, but he wasn't going to miss the game. And if anybody watches that year, they knew wherever Rob was, that's where the ball was going.
Rob, memories of the big state championship win for you. Were you on the team with Zwinak and those guys? Was that year?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly the same year.
Yeah, just memories of that. It was I guess the 2009 state title. Is that right? And you graduated the next, the following, in 2010, class of 2010.
Right.
But just memories of that whole season. It's a magical run when you get to go do something like that.
Yeah, it is, especially in high school. It's such a special thing with a special group of guys, and you really have a true bond, and that's kind of where football is at its purest, I guess. There's no business to it. There's really no politics to it. It's just pure having fun playing football, and to do it with your friends, and to have a coach like Coach Connor. It just made that whole thing special, because you can tell he really cares about us as players, and every year he really just has a true love for his kids, and it shows in his teams, because guys want to play for him. And I mean, he's had talented teams, and I want to say not as talented, but it's just the guys every year want to step up and just play for Coach, and it shows year in and year out. And so he can take anyone, and you believe in him and truly love him, and that player is going to come out and do good things for you. And I couldn't be more thankful to have Coach Connor as my high school coach. I definitely learned a ton from him, and wouldn't be here without him.
Oh, and absolutely. To me, it's all about the work ethic. I mean, it's Coach, when you showed up, it was like night and day. I mean, it's you got in there, you transformed the weight room, took us to a state title game the first year. We lost, but you came back, won the next year, and then I know you won another with Rob, and then another one even after that. What are you at now? What is it? You've won 3 at Linganore and 4 as D coordinator at Urbana. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. And all pretty cool. And it's you're right. Some teams are more talented than others, but the thing about high school is and Rob hit the nail on the head, is you're playing with your best friends. Yeah. And that's what we've always had last year. My best teams have been, or our best teams have been when the guys were the best friends and they were tight, and it's just special. It's this year's team was as fun as it's been. We had that one scholarship player on our football team right now. Nobody signed. We had a couple guys looking at some D3 schools, which is cool, but they were best friends, and they support each other, just like Robbie's team and just like your team.
Oh, the memories are just so thick you have to brush them away from your face, as they say in Field of Dreams. But yeah, you got I think you've coached in it's you've taken Linganore to 9 titles, right? Title games. You've taken them to 9 games and won 3, and then not to mention the Florida Urbana. It's really incredible. But you mentioned the scholarship versus non-scholarship guys. Tell me about Rob. Let's pivot into the college. When he's starting to get recruited there, coach. How did that actually come about? Were coaches just like beating down the door to draft it, to recruit this guy?
Yes, they were flocking to our school. He was a big time recruit. I'll never forget. We had, I don't know, maybe Wisconsin was in, Michigan, Ohio State, or some big time schools were in. And we were playing volleyball, and Rob took off and made a diving save, and they were just like, oh my gosh. I think West Virginia was in there, who came in a couple times to see Robbie. But it was just, yeah, he was going to wind up playing Power 5 schools, big time football. We went to the Maryland camp. I think, Rob, you were a sophomore going into your junior year, and the Maryland Coach Bratton pulled us aside and said, look, he's going to play right tackle in the NFL. Ralph's given me the opportunity. I can scholarship him. So we're going to offer him, get him out there, let everybody see him. He's going to be a great player. So you could see it from a mile away that this guy was special.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you play with a fire, and then when you add your God-given frame, and then I'm sure all the weightlifting and everything else to it, it's just you're unstoppable, man. So tell me about the Wisconsin days. I think you were first team All Big Ten or maybe even All American in 2014. But remind us. What do you think those days at Wisconsin? How do you think that prepared you for the NFL?
It was very similar offenses, so I kind of learned a lot of the lingo that's used here in the NFL. So that obviously, gave me a little bit of a leg up, right away. But I thought the coaching that we had was very helpful in order to transition into the NFL. And it kind of just taught you the same thing in high school, like how to truly work and how to put your head down and grind when things are hard. And like with Coach Connor, it's like, you come on Monday and, he always had the Monday mile. So Monday, you just go run a mile. And, being a bigger high school kid, maybe that wasn't always the funnest thing for me. But, the days when you didn't want to do it, the days you didn't want to, you're at 5 a.m. in college doing mat drills, or you're up at 4:30 because some guy was late, and then you're up at 4 because another guy was late. You're doing, you're working out at 4 o'clock, and you're, trying to go to bed at 7, and you can't really get that done because you got schoolwork. And the days where that's really hard, where you just put your head down and go and grind, you really find something truly about yourself, and kind of the capacity you have and the capacity that you can grow on to try and, make yourself better and just, keep yourself in it when things are very, very hard. And, it's something I think I got, prepared for in college and in high school.
Awesome. Well, we've covered high school. We've covered college. Now, chronologically, take us to the big draft day. You get picked by the Rams, and I guess it was 2015, I think.
Yep.
What was it like hearing your name called? And I want to hear your thought of that on that too, Coach. I'm sure you had a big watch party, but let's start with Rob. What was it like you and your family, getting to experience that? That's once in a lifetime stuff.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting, so I got picked up in the second round, and I wasn't expecting to go that high. The best I heard from teams were like 3 to 5, and I was probably going 4 to 6 was what I, realistically thought between me and, the people who were in my little circle. And so I was actually playing euchre, a card game with my family. Just happened to have the phones next to me. The draft was on, but I wasn't watching it. I think it was, I was definitely in the middle of the game, and all of a sudden the phone rang, and it was kind of like why is the phone ringing right now? I'll tell a quick story. I had a buddy who came with me in Wisconsin, but he left early because he didn't redshirt, and he was kind of in the same thing, kind of have the same draft grade as me. And then I think in like the 3rd round or something it was late first, I think. And his phone rang. And so he picks it up, runs outside. He sees the area code, picks it up. And it's I think it's somebody asking for him to like donate blood or something like that. It was like the Red Cross or something like that. And he's freaking out. He's like, don't ever call me again. So, and, he ended up having a different experience, but it was, so I wasn't really watching, and then it called, and, got the call, and it was kind of surreal at the time. And, I just remember the conversation to this day, and went to go tell my family, and it was a great time. It was awesome. It was an unbelievable experience, and very thankful. Very thankful. I'll say that.
Yeah, that must have been wild, and I'm sure the family didn't mind that the big euchre game got interrupted. I'm sure that it was
no, not at all. I'm pretty sure we were winning. So
yeah, well, of course. And if you weren't, you were about to. Well, cool. Well, all right, Coach, your memory real quick of that day. I mean, that must be the pinnacle as a high school coach to have one of your former players get drafted in the NFL.
This is so much fun, Jason. We were, our family was sitting down watching TV. We had the fireplace on. We were watching the draft. We weren't playing the game. We were concentrating on Robbie getting drafted. And his name came up. My wife exploded with a big wow, because Rob has some really big fans, but one of his biggest fans is my wife. She loves Robbie, loves watching the Rams. She loved when he played it, 7th grade basketball. So it's just been fun watching him progress. But yeah, that was a high point for me personally. Yes. I was just so happy for Robbie.
Absolutely. And we mentioned that you were probably winning the euchre game, and you always win everything, but you actually had to go through the adversity of losing a Super Bowl too. Guys went I guess what is in the 2018-2019 season and lost to those dastardly Patriots back with Belichick and when Tom Brady was still there. Memories of that getting to play in a big game, but B, having to pick yourself up. I mean, you're losing to legends, the biggest quarterback coach probably pair ever, but it's still got to sting.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously losing a game hurts because you're at the end of the day, you're a true competitor. And so whether it's a Super Bowl or a regular season game, you're still sour over a loss. And obviously the Super Bowl being a bigger game than just a regular season game, I'm not diminishing that aspect, but it's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. You really kind of have to do some self-searching there, because some guys haven't come back from a loss like that. Some guys can't come back from a loss like that. And it's truly telling yourself what you need to hear and not listening to the outside world or listening to yourself at times, when kind of those little, the bad thoughts start creeping in. It's, go ahead and speaking to yourself about like, all right, what can I do personally to help us get back here and get us over the hump? And not in a selfish way, but that's just the only way that you can move forward. Say, okay, what did I do good? And you reflect on the season like you would on honestly any other season, whether you made the playoffs, made the Super Bowl, lost in the playoffs, it doesn't matter. You still go back and try to, progress your game, yourself to be a better professional, at this point in some of our lives, to be a better husband, be a better dad, no matter what it is, because all that influences you as a player because it's part of your life now.
Absolutely. So now that we're here for round 2, you get another shot. Like you said, not everyone gets a second shot at a second chance at winning a Super Bowl. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Super Bowl, Linganore Lancer trying to go for a Super Bowl here. So is it different this time around? I mean, I know you mentioned that having 2 weeks off is hard and all that, but does the experience of having gone through it once sort of, you think, help you? You kind of know the ropes this time a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Things are just different with the Super Bowl. Like I said, you have the 2 weeks off to prepare for one team. You don't really get that even during bye week. The last thing you're thinking about during the actual bye week or the off part of bye week is football. You're out doing whatever you got to do to go ahead and, reset yourself. But, it's having gone through that before, you really understand kind of, the level of focus, but the level of calmness that you need to have to, like I said, not exhaust yourself out too early in the game or let the preparation slip by without having to get it done. So it's a fine line, and obviously having that experience last time has definitely helped in. And, we brought in, a couple guys who have had experiences with that. A couple of our coaches, Von Miller, obviously was the MVP of a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to get it done and play in a big game, play it well. So the guys that were here in 2018 on this team have definitely been good to help some of the younger guys out, the guys who haven't been to that, to that big stage of a game. And then we talking about just a little how so the Super Bowl is different, how halftime is longer, how pregame is longer. You're going to have more time, so you got to really control your emotions pregame, and then at halftime, it's kind of the same thing there. We almost got to, stay steady to get yourself back up again before, like I said, it's all not just spiking out.
Yeah, you got Dr. Dre and Eminem and all those guys. You got to wait. You got a longer break at halftime. Stay focused, my friend. Coach Connor, real quick, I appreciate you guys joining us. We'll wrap it up here in a second, but I got to know, Coach, how do you spend a Super Bowl Sunday watching? I'm sure you watch football all the time during the offseason and NFL and everything, but like, what is there a certain protocol, superstition, certain food you got to eat? So do you just stand up and watch right up against the flat screen? What's the technique?
Yeah, we don't. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to watch it right here. We'll have some people over. I'm sure there'll be a crock pot full of chili and some chips and dip, and that good stuff. I really don't get to watch the NFL a whole lot until our season's over, because usually weekend I'm busy with Linganore football. So it's kind of it is fun to just zone out and most of the time not really have a dog in the fight. But that's all changed this Sunday. We got a dog in the fight, so we're gonna just sit back and watch it, enjoy it. And, when I watched the Rams, I just watched 79, and he's played maybe his two best football games the last couple of weeks. So we're excited for him to continue doing that. And the Rams are fun to watch. They had a big night last night in the award ceremonies with number 77 and Cooper. So it's going to happen. Can't wait.
Awesome. And the most important question to wrap it up, Rob, when you're coming out of that tunnel at the Super Bowl, are you going to hear a little bit of AC/DC Back in Black playing in your head?
I'm not sure what I'm going to be hearing. Usually it's my own personal brand of music. I won't like that's just for me. But it's I'll be locked in. I can tell you that.
Yeah, inside joke for the listeners. We used to run out to that at Linganore. Awesome. Well, we can't wait. We're so excited. This was so much fun getting to talk. I could talk with you guys all day, but Rob, you got to go focus, man. We're gonna let you run here. We can't take up too much of your time here, but we're rooting for you, Coach. You want to say anything else? Any final? Get him pumped up to win on Sunday.
Oh, hey, you know what we said before each game, right? Let's roll. Get it done.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
You got it, buddy. Right. And personally, Coach Connor, Rob, you probably agree. Thanks so much for everything you've done for us and all those kids that came through Linganore. You've really built something really special there.
It was nothing but fun and a blast, and to see you guys as they get older and have kids and move around, and it's a pleasure. It's awesome. It's an honor.
Awesome. Well, go Rams, and forever go Lancers.
Absolutely.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jason.
Yep. See you, Robbie.
All right. See you.
Thanks so much for joining us on Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Remember to hit the subscribe button and give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time. I wanted to take a second to tell you about an app I really enjoy. Living in the DC area is great, and Podcast DC gathers all of the local shows that I like all in one local app. Health, sports, local news, politics, and so much more. Podcast DC is the new local app with hundreds of DC area podcasts to choose from. I can earn exciting rewards just for listening and share the podcasts I love instantly. Available in the App Store or in Google Play, listen local with Podcast DC.